Every thought we think is a seed. Every day, with every moment, we are planting these seeds into the fertile soil of our subconscious mind. Most people live their lives not realizing that the circumstances surrounding them are nothing more than the harvest of yesterday's thoughts. If you've been struggling with negative feelings, discouragement, anxiety, fear, self-doubt, it's not because you're weak or broken. It's because somewhere along the line, you unknowingly started watering seeds that do not serve you. But here's the truth. You have the power to change that. Not next year, not when the situation gets better, but now. And if you give yourself just 7 days of disciplined, intentional, mental gardening, everything can start to shift. Your emotions are not random. They are created. They are born from repeated thoughts. What you allow to run through your mind without challenge or awareness. When you wake up and start your day by mentally revisiting your regrets, your failures, your losses, or your fears, you're already setting the tone for how you're going to feel. That feeling becomes your energy. That energy shapes your behavior. As that behavior keeps you locked in a cycle. But let's flip that. What happens when you start your day by planting seeds of faith, possibility, strength, and purpose? When you deliberately choose thoughts that align with who you want to be instead of who you used to be, you change your inner environment. And once your inner world starts shifting, your outer world cannot help but respond. There's a law at work, and it does not care whether you believe in it or not. The law is whatever you hold in your mind, consistently and emotionally, will begin to manifest itself in your life. It begins with a whisper of thought. That thought, when revisited with emotion, especially strong emotions, sinks into your subconscious. Over time, it hardens into belief. That belief influences how you see yourself, how you respond to people, and even what opportunities you are able to recognize. Most people believe they are reacting to life. The truth is, life is reacting to their inner programming. Negative feelings are nothing more than the evidence of negative seeds that have been allowed to take root. That's where the shift begins. The soul of your mind is always ready to grow whatever you plant. It doesn't care if it's a weed or a rose. It just grows what you feed it. So for the next 7 days, become radically intentional about what you are planting. Refuse to water any thought that doesn't lead you toward peace, confidence, purpose, and vision. This will not be easy at first. Your mind will want to go back to its old programming because it's comfortable, it's familiar. But what's familiar is often what's keeping you stuck. Start by noticing the kinds of thoughts that make you feel heavy. The ones that say, I can't, I'm not enough, it's too late, nothing's changing. Stop giving those thoughts your attention. Don't wrestle with them, don't analyze them, just starve them. Replace them immediately. Speak a new thought into your mind. I am capable. I am growing. God is not finished with me yet. My situation is not my identity. Repeat it, even if you don't fully believe it yet. The feeling will follow the repetition. Thoughts are the engine. Feelings are the passengers. You don't have to feel something in order to start thinking it. But if you keep thinking it, you will start feeling it. Imagine your mind like a field. Each thought you plant today is going to grow into a feeling tomorrow, and those feelings, when consistent, become your emotional home. If your emotional home has been filled with anxiety or hopelessness, it's time to start building a new home with new material. You don't need the whole blueprint today. You just need to pick one new thought and repeat it with focus and energy until it becomes part of your inner landscape.
Some of the most powerful people in the world have been through unimaginable pain and loss, but they learned how to shift their internal narrative. They didn't let their environment dictate their mind. They let their mind transform their environment. That's not magic. That's the law of mental discipline. That's the reward of planting the right seeds and not letting weeds stay unchecked. Now, this doesn't mean you pretend problems don't exist, but it means you stop letting them become the dominant seeds in your field. Yes, there are struggles. Yes, there are disappointments, but you have the ability to choose where your attention goes. And whatever you focus on grows. If you keep focusing on your limitations, they will expand. If you focus on God's promises, on the power of renewal, on the daily opportunities to grow, even if they're small, you will feel something begin to shift. And over time, that shift becomes momentum. You're not waiting for change to come from the outside. You are the change. You are the cause. The external is the effect. For 7 days, start every morning by declaring the kind of seeds you will plant. Write them down. Say them out loud. Surround yourself with reminders. Catch yourself when the old seeds start creeping back in. Don't judge yourself. Just redirect. If you fall back into negative thoughts halfway through the day, pause, breathe, and start again. It's not about perfection, it's about persistence. Faith is not just a spiritual concept. It's a frequency. It's an energy level, a vibration that connects your internal state to external outcomes. It is the invisible bridge between where you are and where you want to be. The challenge is most people are tuned into the wrong frequency. They are listening to the static of fear, doubt, and limitation. And just like a radio can only play the station it's tuned into, your life will only reflect the reality that matches the signal you're sending out. Fear and faith cannot coexist. You are either tuned into one or the other. The tragedy is many people are praying for change while remaining tuned into fear. They are hoping for peace but still meditating on worry. They want breakthroughs but keep speaking defeat. And nothing changes, not because God isn't working, but because they're aligned with the wrong frequency. In order to shift your emotional life, in order to overcome the grip of negative feelings, you must change your internal frequency. Faith is not blind optimism. Faith is the deliberate tuning of your spirit to the energy of possibility, of divine timing, of grace and provision. It is a state of inner knowing that what is meant for you will reach you, that you are not alone in the process, and that what you see is never the whole story. For 7 days, if you can make a conscious choice to stay connected to that frequency, even when your emotions scream otherwise, you'll begin to feel a different current running through your life. You'll notice that what once triggered anxiety starts to feel manageable. What once looked like a dead end starts to look like a detour with purpose. It's not that the external suddenly becomes easier. It's that your inner world gets stronger. Every day you are making a decision to either operate from faith or from fear. Faith says, even though I can't see how, I believe there's a way. Fear says, unless I can see the whole plan, I won't move. Faith whispers, this delay is not a denial. Fear insists, this will never work out. Faith builds, fear destroys. Faith empowers, fear paralyzes. And this isn't just poetic language. This is real, and it is happening in your mind every single moment. If you wake up in the morning and immediately reach for your worries, you are practicing faith in the negative. You are rehearsing failure before it even happens. You are meditating on everything that could go wrong and planting seeds of tension before the day has even begun. But there is another way. There is a different station, a different signal, and you can choose to lock into it. That signal is filled with clarity, peace, confidence, and divine timing. When you move through your day with the faith that God is orchestrating things behind the scenes, that no effort is wasted, that every setback is shaping you, then your emotional responses start to change. You don't spiral into frustration as easily. You don't sink into despair just because something didn't go your way. Faith rewrites your reactions. It gives you spiritual stamina. It lifts your perception above the storm, so you're no longer controlled by every gust of wind that comes your way. It only takes 7 days of intentional faith to begin this transformation. I'm not talking about passive belief. I'm talking about actively turning away from fear every time it shows up. It will be persistent. It will try to disguise itself as logic. It will say, be realistic, when what it really means is stay small. It will speak in familiar tones. And because you've listened to it for so long, you might not recognize it for what it is. But if you take even one moment to breathe and ask yourself, is this thought coming from fear or from faith? You give yourself the power to choose differently. And that one choice, repeated consistently over 7 days, can dismantle emotional strongholds that have kept you bound for years. When you're tuned into the frequency of faith, you stop begging for breakthroughs and start preparing for them. You stop hoping things will work out and start behaving like they already are. This is not arrogance. It's alignment. It's spiritual congruence. And it changes how you walk, how you speak, how you engage with people, how you make decisions. Faith does not ignore facts. It just refuses to let them be the final word. Faith looks at a closed door and says, this is just a redirect, not a rejection. Faith sees the negative report and says, I will not be defined by this. Faith doesn't need evidence to believe. It believes until the evidence shows up. This kind of faith is not reserved for the super spiritual or the naturally optimistic. It's a choice available to anyone right now. Even if you've been stuck in a cycle of fear, even if your emotions have been unpredictable, even if your circumstances are screaming that nothing is changing, your internal frequency is still yours to control. And when you shift it, you shift everything around you. People feel it. Opportunities respond to it. Your body begins to feel lighter. Your mind becomes clearer. And the same things that used to overwhelm you now become opportunities for faith to expand.
In these 7 days, you will be tempted to return to the old station. Your feelings will try to drag you back. But faith is not about ignoring feelings. It's about overriding them. It's about standing in the middle of chaos and declaring, this storm will not last. I am not going under. I am rising above it. That declaration becomes your new frequency, and when you hold that frequency, even for a few minutes at a time, you train your nervous system to operate from a new place. The more often you return to that place, the stronger it becomes. It becomes your home base.